Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Ryan, and this is RimWorld. And here we are at the Hussar and Highmate colony. As you can see, the Hussars have been busy at work repelling another raid here. We had a full tribal melee raid to deal with, and luckily there were no serious injuries. Well, the Cinderman's bleeding all over the place. Tending to thrombos, buddy, why don't you just go to bed? See, this is the real risk of go juice right here. It's not the addictive properties. It's not the fact that, that they get juiced up before a fight. No, that's the benefits. The bad thing is after the fight when they're severely injured, but they're still running around trying to tend to thrombos and whatnot instead of going to bed because they think they're immortal. But I tell you, buddy, you're not immortal. So let's grab Shay. Wake her up, get her to prioritize tending to our buddies. Sometimes, especially when it comes to the health of your pawns, you got to get down there and get your hands dirty and micromanage these guys. It's just the best way to do it. Here's another perfect example. Instead of sitting around waiting for my constructoids or whoever else to get in here and grab these doors that are literally making us completely vulnerable, I'm going to grab Vaz, who I know is a good builder. He's got a 20 maxed out construction, and he's getting forced to do it. There we go. All right, and Pain has a party frenzy. Very nice. So yes, everything is going pretty good. Like I said, we did pretty successfully repel this raid. Not too much to deal with. Oh, looks like a few thrombos got injured. Don't doubt it. They were a big part of the defense of our colony, as usual. Literally, our thrombo pack has saved this place countless times now. And not really. I could count them, but I'm not going to. But you get the point. You get the point. And it's they're still coming along. We don't have any adult males yet. I've butchered them all, or I don't know. We sold one, I think, but they are all still underage, too young to reproduce, which is kind of good because that gives us the ability to, grow our food stockpile, which I've been struggling with because of so many thrombos. But we'll see how that goes. We're also in desperate need of steel, so we're looking for that, trying to expand our grow zone over here. I did add some nice stone floors, though, so I'm happy about that. I'm not happy about the fact that you can't put a floor under this. That's stupid, and I hate it. Oh, okay, I just tried to put one under there manually, and it worked, so I don't have to hate it, and it's not stupid. It was me, my bad. I guess when I used my tools thing here, this thing right here, the shapes, that's what it's called. I used my little bucket to fill it in. That's probably why it didn't work to perfection. There's always a reason here in RimWorld. I've said it before, but when something happens and you can't quite nail down the cause, or you maybe suspect it's a bug, 99% of the time it's user error. It's either you just don't understand what's going on, or the mechanics are working in a way which you didn't expect. But, once in a while there's a bug or two, especially when you are using a big mod list with a bunch of different stuff. But, yeah, regardless, it's still a lot of fun to try and figure it out. That's part of the problem. If you're a problem-solving type of person, then RimWorld is definitely for you. Man, I just noticed all this meat we've got. Over 2,000 meat sitting in that little room there. I certainly hope it doesn't go bad. We do have a freezer, but, I've been trying to do some hunting as well. Just keep the hunting going. Not because we need the meat necessarily, because we're really waiting on just food, like produce. I need rice and stuff, but we also need the textiles. So yeah, I've been doing some hunting of anything big mainly so we can keep our crafting going. It's so important for us to keep a stockpile of tradable goods and stuff. So these guys are actually set to hunt already. It's just, of course, as soon as things get rocking and rolling and going quite nicely, Randy interrupts us. Now, speaking of Randy here and interrupting us, I think there was a contract that got ruined. Let's see here. So I did 2 contracts, one for guns and one for a lung. I think they came and got the guns but left the lung. Yeah, here's the lung. So this was going to be like another 8,000 or so silver. But I'm pretty sure that the raid came at the same time. The caravan showed up to pick it up, and they killed one of the guys. So I don't think they'll send it again. I think we're just out of luck too. But anyway, let's remain a colonist. We got a few babies and children's here. Baby Lou. 3 days old. We can get her out of there. Good job, baby. So I need to rename them. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and do this right away because sometimes it doesn't pop up and I'll notice like years later we've got a child growing up named Baby. Yeah, let me change it. All right, so we got a pretty competent fighter here potentially, and he's got the white hair, so I named him Arthas. How's that sound for any World of Warcraft fans out there? Except, and if we take a quick look at his hybrid status, he's got the ability to bond, and he's hyper aggressive, so he can do combat. Whoops. No, I want him to attack. There we go. So yeah, very nice. I love having those combat capable, especially when they get the best of both worlds, so to speak. Like they can form psychic bonds like a Highmate, and they're still able to come and shoot with the best of them. Speaking of which, let's get this boy an assault rifle. And I know there's got to be a Gladius in here somewhere. Steel Gladius good. That'll work. Whoops. I just screwed that up. Ah, well, I'll reset it. Well, we are slowly expanding over here, building more and more walls around the bridge area, trying to claim just enough here so that we only defend or can move about freely the areas that are fully walled in at this point. Now, obviously, there's a pretty thin wall here. It's just marble. But I think ultimately it'll be okay as long as our trap funnel's open. You know, breach raids are always a threat no matter what you design. You can have a wall 6 tiles thick and, you know, breach raids or even a carpenter mech, or what is that called? Not a carpenter mech. The termite mech will come through and just devastate your walls. But this way, I think it's still going to be relatively safe here. And it looks nice. I think ultimately it's starting to come together. I really can't wait to get these things built. You can see the stones actually stockpiling quite well. Occasionally I'll grab like the first 4 or 5 people and just force them to do some stone cutting for a while, which is really helpful. And also the fact that I don't have enough steel to build any more of the bridge is helping us stockpile our stone for now. But we're going to get there. One day we are going to get there. I've even decided to put a hold on the turrets for now until we get some more steel. But I've been belly aching about that resource for a while now. I'm trying to make moves though. We've got the long range mineral scanner coming along, which of course can help us find some locations on the world map where we can send a caravan, hopefully close by. Also, another option, I might send out a little strike force and crack open a couple of ancient dangers nearby too, because oftentimes you can, you know, grab some of the, it won't be a whole lot of steel, but some of the mech corpses we could shred and whatnot. Anyway, there's also the potential for some scans here on the map too, but I've just been having the worst luck with our scanning here. Look at all this. This is all steel up here. There's plasteel all over the place, but almost none of it, literally one single patch, and I've used it up mostly, was in here. Everything else is outside the compound. I even spent a little time down here just getting some extra plasteel at one point, but I've also considered extending our power and bringing our little turbine or deep drills out here, but it's real close to the edge of the map. I'm not super comfortable right there, but I mean, honestly, it's probably not a bad idea. Let's see. So, for one thing, I don't even have the steel to build this much power cable, you know, right now. So, well, I do actually, but maybe it's not a bad idea. Let's do that because, like I said, I'm belly aching about it. I think it's about time to go to some extreme measures here. Let me just make sure I'm about right here. Yeah, it should be about close enough. Okay, well, I'm putting a priority on it over here, but we did just get a bulk goods trader, so that's good news. Now, I've called several traders too, so it's most likely one of the ones that we've leveraged our good nature with, our good fortunes, our good relations, that's what I should say. Randy's also throwing little lightning bolts at me, trying to get me killed here with fire. Well, that's going to fail like all your other attempts, Randy. But yeah, I'm putting it right on the edge of the minerals. You never know, 2 or 3 tiles might be the difference between life and death if we got a raid right here. But honestly, I don't think I've seen a raid come in. And correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who's aware, but I think if you have a base like established or buildings constructed close enough, like if I were to build my base like right next to this edge, I don't think raids would spawn right next to it. I could be wrong. I could be totally off. I mean, and I probably am. Ooh, I shouldn't let the kids out here. Yeah, I usually keep them unrestricted right after a raid, directly after it, so they can haul corpses outside. But yeah, it's always good to bring him back in after that. He was literally like 2 tiles from the edge. That dude would have been murdered if a raid had came in on him. So yeah, it's good to keep it restricted. It can be dangerous playing around near the edge of that map. Now, here's something else I noticed. We actually had, I didn't witness this either. It must have happened during the last raid. I don't think it was one of my own colonists who triggered it either. So there was a, just like over here, I had a roof support holding up some overhead mountain tiles like this because there was a little hill here. Obviously, we dug it out for stone and resources. But so if a raider comes and knocks this down, essentially what happens is boom, the whole ceiling comes down on them. And there could, in fact, be a dead raider buried under one of these squares or maybe multiples. You never know. The only thing is, I've had this happen to colonists. Like if you dig out too much and it actually collapses, this will crush your colonists and they just disappear. Like their portrait is just gone. You know what I'm saying? They're just deleted literally from your colony. So it's a dangerous way of playing around. I'm sure many of you knew that, but it is something to note. All right, here we go. Cinderman, he's being forced to cut down some trees in his job, but it's kind of funny to see that. What is his planting? Oh, he's got a 0 planting. Yeah, so I'm surprised he was able to even cut that tree in like less than a day, basically. Okay, well, this is important to note over here. We addressed this in the last episode. The raid that we just had exposed some serious flaws in my wall setup. These diagonal walls like this look good. I know some people don't like them, but I like them. And it also, like I said, makes it the raiders can attack through this corner here. So that's what actually happened to this table, this hydroponics table here. A raider literally was able to destroy it without taking the wall out. So I've decided I got a little stockpile of granite. Our bridge area has been constructed. So I'm going to go through and it's time. You know, I kind of said at the very beginning of the series when I originally laid out some of these walls that I would eventually do this. But it's just been so tough to get resources consistent, especially stone. That's been one we've struggled with. Struggled with a lot of things here, but when you limit the number or the type of pawns that you can recruit, you know, it does make things much more difficult, but equally fun, I think. I think we need that piece there. Yeah, that's good enough. So anything I put along this area is more safe now, and I'm actually I'm gonna spin the resources and do it down here too. As you can see, there's plenty of stuff exposed in that area. And even though, like, for instance, right here, I don't really need to put it, for the sake of aesthetics, I'm gonna keep the line nice and straight and fill it in. You know, I don't want to have some weird divot. But yeah, there's a few things like that would have been exposed, or it is currently exposed. This right here, a little constructor for a mechs is. So I think the other side is okay. Yeah, worst case scenario, they destroy like our blackboard or her statue, but I can just move her statue. So this is okay over here. We're fine. This was the big problem. So I think that addresses it. Well, you know, just one last note about these walls. The diagonal nature means that you have to go in here and manually click each one of these little corners, for instance, to extend the zone. It makes it a tad bit tedious for sure. It's much easier when you just have a plain square rectangle and you can just boop, grab it with your zone and you're covered. It's micromanaging a bit more of that zone, but it's important, you know, and you could get sloppy with it. You could just have something that covers the whole thing, you know, and be like, who cares? But then you're going to have to make another zone just for your people if there's something dangerous happens. But anyway, I think precision zoning is very important, especially in the higher difficulties, no doubt about it. And if we were just to glance at my zone list right now, manage areas, look at all these. So not only is it important to have like precision zones for a lot of these, but just have tons of them, you know, for different qualities and stuff. All right. Well, our little bulk goods trader friend over here just supplied us with another almost 300 steel, which is all going to go right here into this thing pretty much because these cost 200 steel. Yeah, it sucks, but that's what we're doing. That's what we're working on. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and release these because this is what we need to expand over here. Some of our growing capability. We've even got a little modular one set up. Oh boy, we've got ourselves another growth fat ready to spring the child. So this one's age 3 now. We'll deal with him. He is non-violent there, so that's unfortunate, but we take a look at him. He doesn't have the bonding ability either, so mediocre pawn in terms of his hybrid status, but we accept him all. He's got a glorious head of hair, though. Gotta love that little male guy. I'll deal with the schedule and stuff. Get him set here. Put him in the home zone. Why does it do this to me? There we go. Okay, but how about this big fella? Oh, Arthur is 17 and 33 days. So if you're just tuning in or if you missed my initial explanation, why we've got a near adult in here is because this is, I've been recommended to do this by a commenter for some pips here, for some pawns, sorry. We did it also with Wrench. So when Wrench was reached the age of 13, because he's melee, he got put in the growth vat so that he could hurry up and hit age 18 because there's no more growth events after 13 and you get to skip the awkward teenage years, which is a plus, not really, but there it is. And the most important thing is when he hits 18, he's got like a fully grown body. So he's got all his hit points, you know, so if he gets hit in the arm, he can take more damage or whatever, or any part of his body. And that's helpful. And also now he can get into romantic relationships too. So kind of bypasses some time and makes him more combat ready. But the downside is you do lose those extra few years where you could build up their skills a whole bunch. But honestly, I'd rather have the combat capable pawns right now, to be quite honest. And I've been thinking about it. I think the next violent capable who's even non-melee, just one of these little ones with a gun, once they get their final growth event at 13, I'm going to pop them in the growth event and skip those teenage years. I mean, they still get to enjoy 18 and 19, but I think you get my point. It's very helpful, and I'm glad that person mentioned it because, like I said, it's turned out pretty well so far. All right, well, Buddy has turned out several pieces of marine armor now. So basically, every adult, violent, capable pawn is now wearing some kind of armor here. Not all of his own creation, but at least something, you know. They're all at least normal, too. There's no poor or bad quality stuff at all, so that's helpful. And we are now working on helmets. I've got him making up 10 recon helmets for everybody, just using up some of these advanced components that we've got. Plus, it takes no steel whatsoever. It's all plasteel, and it goes pretty quick here with the good old Buddy. He's a fast man, and he's turning them out. There we go. Arslan's changing out already. Love to see it. Love to see it. And they do just look a whole lot cooler, too, with those helmets on. I think once we get everything settled with this gear that we're doing, like for instance, once all the helmets are done here, I might start going back to dyeing our pawns the favorite color. I know that it's good. It makes it easier to distinguish the pawns. You know, they get a little personality. You know, like Cinderman loves his mustard colored stuff. So yeah, that's always fun to do. It's just when you're actively switching between different outfits or pieces of outfits, it's a little bit annoying, but nonetheless, it's still fun to do it once we got something set in place. Oh, here we go. Well, I just got the notification said Arthur is too old. He has been ejected from the growth vat. So there he is, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, he gets to drop that childish gladius there. And we've got something much more grown up for this gentleman. We crafted this bad boy up a few episodes ago. Of course, you guessed it. It was our man Buddy who did it. We've got ourselves a legendary plasteel longsword for him. He is another melee focus character. Not quite perfect, but he's getting there. He's bloodlust, nimble. Really, really good pawn here for this. And like I said, he's 18, so he's fully combat capable. We're going to give him... Okay, he grabbed that. Don't wear the flag vest. I want you to wear the... not the range shield belt, the recon armor there, buddy. Yeah. All right, so Arthur gets moved up the list. There he is, right next to his fellow melee accomplice, Wrench. So that's looking good. I'm liking it. Now, the question is, should we get addicted to Luciferium? I think we might here. Let's see. Where is he? Arthur. Oh, okay. He's on the list of adults now. Good, good, good. Just want to check his work tab. Doctoring. We can get him to do a little bit of this. If I just don't turn on surgery, he'll kind of learn from treating minor wounds and stuff. That's good. Wardening, yeah, as an adult, he can do this. Let's get him set for that. Entertain too, sure. Cook. What else has he got here? Construction's always good. Honestly, I'd like to see him mining and deep drilling. Deep drilling is a priority. Oh, let's also set him for a little bit of smelting as a bit of a priority, and stone cutting. That's helpful. And also drugs are important too, so we'll set that. Now he's no dummy, that's for sure. And we'll set those two. As an adult, he doesn't have to worry about cleaning or hauling. There we go. So that's our work tab set for him. We don't often show the work tabs and stuff, but it's important. Oh, you know what? And all of them should be set to do fire and rescue if they're capable of it, you know. I probably should do the kids too, but can we just select it like this? No, doesn't work that way. Okay, so I won't worry about anything else. We got Liu here. But you can see I'm starting to leave a lot of these kids off of the assignment list here so they just don't do anything. Hoping to get them some better growth events because I know we've had a few very poor ones in recent past. So trying to get around that. But there's Arthur. Okay, we want to go to the assign tab. Here we go. So I've got a schedule for drugs already set up, drug policy, named it Lucy, very appropriately. So if we set him to this, now he's going to come over here and on basically a weekly basis, don't include the weekends, he will be popping the Lucy, the hot cinnamon candy, baby, the devil's bargain. There it is. We got over 100 of it. There's like another small stack maybe, or no, they probably already used that up. Nonetheless, I think we're set here. Let's get him. Come on, baby, get 3. That's 3. That will be 3. I want to witness it. Oh, he's going to bed. Look at that. He's got a mohawk with the red eyes. Oh, yeah, this guy was made for the Lucy. Now, let's just see. Go juice dependency. So he is like not a pure-blooded Hussar, obviously. He's a hybrid, but he has that need, too. So I was just thinking, what kind of bionics should we give him? He's going to need some legs, no doubt about it. But right now, all of our advanced components are kind of dedicated over here, so we'll just hold off. You know what I was thinking with both of these guys, my melee people, one thing I should probably do is give them some sort of, like, I don't know, ranged sidearm. Could we do a pistol? I don't think, yeah, we can't equip like an SMG as a sidearm. It's too heavy. But if I craft up a couple of nice pistols, you know, we might be able to, because they are Hussars, or at least Hussar hybrids, so they're capable of both. And I was thinking about, like, if I send them out on the world map to do like ancient structures, it would be helpful to have a little bit of both capacity. And, oh, you know, one thing I should definitely do with them? Come here, you guys. I got more presents for you. Pick up the Doomsday rocket launchers here. Let's grab these. Because if you just have them pick up rocket launcher. Yeah, there we go. It'll go into their inventory. You know, they keep it on them. And you can switch back and forth. There we go. So now we're set. Yep, there it is. It appears right there in the sidearms thing. So that's very cool. All right, and our little boy is now officially grown up. He has his Luciferium addiction in place. It brings a little tear to my eye. Come here, let's look at you there with that legendary plastic. He's going to be a real force to be reckoned with, folks. Oh, yeah, I can't wait to see these guys in combat. All right, now this is a color I can get down with here. Clarissa's got style, that's for sure. Style Clarissa, I love it. I don't know what you call this, mint? She's got a nice mint color here, accept that. It's good. Like I said, I've been going through and assigning several people. We got a bunch of boring people here. Wrench loves brown. Morgan loves brown. Arslan loves beige. Actually, this is almost more like a peach, yellow. I don't know. It's hard to say. But Furry, He goes in with that mustard color, just like old Cinderman. Cinderman hasn't been able to paint yet. He doesn't have a good helmet he likes. A lot of the non-violent pawns are coming and grabbing the helmets too, which really is okay as long as we have enough for the ones who really need it. So I might have to have a couple of them drop those if it's like, I don't know, legendary masterwork quality. See, bro, I feel like Strong should probably have that over you right now, Vaz. Look, he's also wearing a shield. Come on, man. What are you doing? I need to make. Yeah, I should seriously make two different sets of clothing. Since I have so many different sets for the drugs, it only makes sense I do that with the clothing too for violent and non-violent pawns. But it's just so many different levels of micromanaging. It does get to be tedious after a while, I'll be honest. Okay, well, I decided to stop complaining about it and just bite the bullet and do it. So, as you can see, I have two now set. One of them is anything. That's just the default that I had for everybody. The only thing I really changed was not allowed to wear tainted apparel and no cowboy hats because we were trying to stockpile those early on. But now we also have a non-violent one where I've basically, it's the same. They're allowed to wear everything except no armor of any kind, including headpieces. So we should see all our non-violent pawns take those off. But also no body armor, and I've limited the utility stuff that they can wear to basically just like backpacks, medical bags, and shield belts too. I like them to have a bunch of shield belts ready so we can put those on the pawns. I feel like at the very least that's good defense for them. So let's just watch here. Let's watch Shep. He'll probably, yep, taking his helmet off. He just took it off and now he's hauling it. Perfect. So we know it's working. Okay, well, one last note about the different clothing sections here. I do need to, I think, reset flak vests. I think I'm allowing them to wear flak vests and flak pants. Because like I said, I do want them to have some kind of protection, especially pawns like Shay and Shepherd, who do kind of, they don't get involved in combat, but they kind of assist. You know, they're near the front line, especially Shay. So I noticed while I was watching them remove stuff, a bunch of them came and took these flak vests off. So they'll be able to come back around and get some of their stuff. But I did see a couple things pop up. We got another low shield pack. There's another psychic shock lance somebody dropped off. So that was definitely worth doing ultimately. Well, the steel is starting to come along quite nicely down here, which is amazing. And it's actually allowing me to build a little bit more up here. So we've got our control unit ready. Of course, the power's not connected up here, but I think what I'm going to do in this area now is lay down some bathrooms since we're pretty far. These are the only bathrooms in the colony, these 6. So I feel like it's probably good to have some up here by the guests. So we'll do 3 independent bathrooms right there in the middle. And of course, these are going to be more luxury suites as we've discussed. Just still getting everything up and running here, guys, but it's starting to come together quite nicely. It's certainly, I think you can get a visual idea of what we're going for, and soon enough, it'll be up and running. So I hope you guys will keep tuning in, stick with the series. Until then, hit that like button for me if you're enjoying it. Subscribe to the channel, guys, and I will see you all on the next episode.